Growing older is something we all know will happen, but no one really tells you how lonely it can feel when the people you love start disappearing. One by one, friends pass away, children move to other cities, and your home, once filled with laughter and chatter, becomes too quiet. You wake up one morning, sit at the edge of your bed, and realize there's no one left by your side. What now? What do you do when it feels like the world has moved on without you? If you've ever felt that ache in your chest, the emptiness of being alone in old age, this video is for you. Let's talk, heart to heart, about what you can do when it feels like everyone's gone and you're left standing on your own. First, take a deep breath. You're not broken, you're not forgotten, and you are most definitely not useless. You've lived through decades of joy and hardship. You've raised kids, survived setbacks, maybe even wars, heartbreak, and loss. That kind of experience, it matters. The world may not always say it, but your life has value. Your voice still matters. And yes, there are still things you can do, today, tomorrow, to make these later years meaningful. Let's start with this. If you're aging alone, don't focus on what's gone. Focus on what's left and what's still possible. Because believe me, more is possible than you think. Now, I know the nights can feel long, the silence, the memories that come rushing in, uninvited. You might find yourself talking to a photo frame or keeping the TV on just for the background noise. That's okay. It's human to crave connection. But here's the secret. Being alone doesn't have to mean being lonely. They're different things. Being alone means you have space to reflect, to grow, to discover parts of yourself that may have been buried under years of responsibilities. Loneliness is a feeling, but it's one you can challenge, and you don't have to do it all at once. Let's take this one step at a time. Step 1, rebuild your day. Structure becomes your best friend. You may not have a job to report to or children tugging at your sleeve, but you can still own your schedule. Wake up at the same time each day. Start your morning with something small but meaningful. A cup of tea, a short walk. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Then decide on one activity that gets you outside or interacting with others. A senior yoga class, a community gardening group, volunteering at a library. Yes, even once a week makes a difference. Human contact, no matter how brief, is like sunlight to the soul. Second, let's talk about technology. Yes, it can feel overwhelming at first, but trust me, it's worth learning. A smartphone or tablet can connect you to the world. Join a Facebook group for people over 60. Watch uplifting videos, listen to podcasts, even attend virtual events. You might find an old friend from high school or meet someone across the globe who shares your love for classic jazz or crossword puzzles. You're never too old to learn, and learning something new keeps your mind sharp and your heart young. Next, don't underestimate the power of routine social rituals. Maybe it's a weekly coffee at the same cafe where the barista begins to recognize your face. Maybe it's a regular trip to the park where you greet the same dog walkers. These small interactions can stitch together a sense of belonging, and eventually they lead to something bigger. Friendship. Not the kind from childhood, but a mature, slower kind that still fills the soul. It's also time to revisit hobbies, especially the ones you once loved but set aside. Painting, knitting, playing an instrument, even writing letters. Hobbies remind you of who you are beyond your family roles or career titles. They give your hands something to do and your heart something to feel. And if your hobbies involve others, even better. Join a book club, take a cooking class, sign up for a walking group. You'll be surprised how many others are out there, quietly waiting for someone like you to say hello. But what if your body doesn't cooperate like it used to? Aging comes with its own aches and limitations. That doesn't mean you give up. It means you adapt. If walking is tough, chair exercises are still powerful. If driving is no longer safe, there are ride services for seniors. If hearing or vision fades, there are tools to help. What matters most is this. Do not isolate yourself because of fear or shame. You are not a burden. You are a human being with needs. And meeting those needs is not weakness. It's self-respect. Now let's be honest. Some days the sadness will hit you hard, especially if you've lost a spouse or close friends. That grief doesn't vanish. It shows up in quiet ways. When you reach for 2 coffee mugs instead of 1, when you turn to say something and realize no one's there. And yes, those moments hurt. deeply. But you must remind yourself, the fact that it hurts means it mattered. You had a love, a friendship that was real. Carry it with you, but don't let it stop you from forming new connections. There's no age limit on companionship. And sometimes it's the small, unexpected connections that bring the most comfort. A kind neighbor, the mail carrier who says good morning, the child who waves from across the street. These are your new village, whether you realize it or not. It starts with being open. Look up, smile, speak first. People are often kinder than we expect. Also, take care of your mental health. It's not just a young person's concern. Depression in seniors is real, but often ignored. If you find yourself losing interest in life, sleeping too much or too little, eating poorly, or feeling hopeless, talk to someone, a doctor, a counselor, even a friend. Asking for help doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise enough to care for yourself. Let's talk about one of the hardest things to face in old age: regrets. It's easy to sit in silence and replay the mistakes, the things you wish you'd done differently. Maybe you think you didn't spend enough time with your kids. Maybe you never got to travel, or you pushed away a good friend. That voice in your head can be harsh, but listen closely. You don't have to carry those regrets forever. You can't go back and change the past, but you can change how you live right now. You can forgive yourself. You can make peace with what was and choose to create something better with the time that's left. Start with a letter to yourself. Write down the things that still weigh on you, then read it out loud. You'll be surprised how healing it is to hear your own words. And after that, tear it up or fold it away. Either way, let it go. You've done your best. You've loved, you've tried, you've endured. That is enough. And there is still time to make new memories, even if they look different than the ones you imagine. Now let's shift the focus to purpose. You may be retired, your children may be grown, but that doesn't mean your purpose has ended. In fact, it may be just beginning. There are people out there who need your wisdom, your presence, your calm voice. You could mentor a younger neighbor, teach a skill at your local senior center, read to children at the library, or share your life story with others. Your experience is your greatest gift. The world is hungry for it, but only if you share it. Don't underestimate how powerful your story is. What you've been through, the joy and the pain, it can help someone else navigate their own struggles. You don't have to be famous or wealthy to matter. You just have to be willing to open up to say, I've been there too. That's how connections are born. That's how loneliness begins to fade. Another important step: build a sanctuary in your home. Even if you live alone, your space should feel warm, safe, and comforting. Surround yourself with things that bring you peace. Photos of loved ones, soft lighting, plants, music that soothes your heart. Light a candle at dinner. Hang wind chimes outside your window. These small touches create a space that feels like it loves you back. And when your home feels like a hug, solitude becomes something sacred, not sad. Try to also practice what I call microjoys. These are tiny moments of happiness that often go unnoticed. A hot cup of coffee, the smell of rain, a bird at your window. When you start noticing these things, your life begins to feel richer. You no longer chase the big, dramatic moments. You learn to appreciate the quiet beauty of now. And that is a skill most people never learn until it's almost too late. And if you're spiritually inclined, now is a powerful time to explore that more deeply. Whether it's religion, meditation, or just sitting in silence and thinking about life's meaning, this can be a deeply fulfilling journey. You've seen so much. You've survived so much. There's wisdom in you that can only be reached through reflection. Spiritual peace doesn't come from knowing all the answers. It comes from accepting that it's okay not to have them. Faith, in whatever form you choose, can fill the gaps that loneliness tries to widen. Let's not forget about your physical health. Movement is medicine, even at 70, 80, or 90. You don't need to run marathons. You just need to move. Stretch your arms, walk to the mailbox. Do a few leg lifts while sitting in a chair. Keep your body active, even gently. It sends a message to your brain. I'm still here. I still matter. Your body may not be what it once was, but it still deserves love and care. Feed it nourishing foods, drink water, take your medications. Your body is your partner in this life, don't abandon it now. And while we're on the subject, don't ignore checkups. A lot of seniors skip doctor visits because they're afraid of what they'll hear. But knowing what's going on gives you power, it gives you control. And catching problems early can save your life, or at least improve the quality of your later years. Don't wait until something breaks. Stay ahead of the curve. Let's take a moment now and talk about the future, not with fear, but with clarity. Everyone deserves a plan. What do you want the rest of your life to look like? Where do you want to live? Who should make decisions if you can't? These conversations are hard, but avoiding them won't make the problems disappear. Write things down. Talk to a trusted friend or relative. Having a clear plan brings peace of mind. It's not about expecting the worst. It's about respecting yourself enough to prepare. And please, don't believe the myth that you're too old to make new friends. People of all ages are looking for connection. The woman across the street who gardens alone, the man who always eats breakfast at the diner. Chances are, they're just as eager to talk as you are. It starts with a smile, a hello, an invitation to chat. Friendships at this age don't have to be built from shared history. They can be built from shared understanding, shared time, a shared need to not feel so alone. Now here's something simple but powerful. Give yourself permission to laugh again. I know life has been heavy. I know the grief in the silence can feel like a weight on your shoulders. But laughter, that's your birthright. Watch a comedy show. Call someone who makes you chuckle. Even laugh at yourself when you do something silly, like put the milk in the cabinet. Laughter keeps the heart young. It reminds you that even in hard times, joy can still slip in through the cracks. And finally, be proud of yourself. Not for what you've achieved, but for still being here. For waking up today. For surviving all that life has thrown at you. For still trying, still listening, still hoping. That is strength. That is courage. And that is what makes you truly remarkable. Let's talk about forgiveness. Not just forgiving others, but forgiving yourself too. You might have people in your past who hurt you, people you trusted who let you down. But carrying that pain around like luggage only weighs down your heart. Forgiveness doesn't mean what they did was okay. It means you're done letting it poison your peace. You can't control what happened, but you can control what you carry. Put the burden down. Walk lighter. You deserve that freedom. And when it comes to yourself, maybe you weren't the perfect parent, partner, or friend. Maybe you made choices that now make you cringe. But look, every one of us is flawed. We've all said the wrong thing, missed a chance, lost our temper. You can either punish yourself for the rest of your life, or you can say, I did my best with what I knew at the time. Growth means learning, even at 70, 80, or beyond. Forgive yourself, then choose better from here on out. Next, let's talk about finding comfort in routine. When life feels uncertain or days stretch long and empty, a routine can give you grounding. Start your morning with a warm drink and a quiet moment by the window. Set a regular time to stretch, to eat, to read, to rest. Even scheduling a walk around your living room or a call to a friend can make a huge difference. Your routine becomes your rhythm. It tells your body and brain, we have purpose. We have a reason to move forward. Let's go even deeper. Ask yourself, what brings me peace? Not just what keeps me busy, but what actually soothes my soul. Is it music from your youth? Old movies? Gardening? Prayer? A walk at sunset? It's different for everyone. But once you know your peaceful place, return to it often. Make it part of your day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. That's how you build emotional strength. That's how you refill your cup when the world feels empty. Another big one, stop waiting for others to check in. It's okay to be the one who reaches out first. Call your kids. Message that neighbor. Send a card. Invite someone to sit with you at the park. People get busy, they forget, but that doesn't mean they don't care. Sometimes they just need a nudge. And when you make the first move, you're also showing them how strong you are. You're saying, I'm still here. I still want to connect. That takes courage. And it often leads to deeper bonds than you expected. Let's also talk about technology. Yes, it can be frustrating at first. But if you learn to use even a little, texting, video calls, YouTube, or messaging apps, it can open a whole new world. You can join online book clubs, watch concerts, take classes, even play games with people across the country. Don't let fear stop you. Ask for help if you need it. There are tutorials everywhere, and people who'd love to teach you. You're not too old to learn. You're not too old to connect in new ways. Now think about this. When was the last time you felt useful? We all need to feel needed, to know that our presence makes a difference. That's why volunteering, even in small ways, is so powerful. Can you knit blankets for babies, bake cookies for a church group, help organize books at the library? These small acts remind you that you still have something to give, and that giving, especially when you expect nothing in return, fills your heart in a way nothing else can. Don't be afraid to revisit old dreams either. Did you once want to paint? Write? Learn to play piano? Maybe you didn't have time back then. But what about now? You don't need to be perfect. You don't even need to finish. Just start. Doing something creative reconnects you with your spirit. It reminds you that you're still alive, that your time isn't just about watching the clock. It's about making something beautiful, even if no one else sees it but you. Let's take a moment for gratitude. Not the big forced kind, but the gentle, quiet recognition that, despite everything, you are still here. You still get to see the sunrise. You still get to laugh, to cry, to breathe. Start or end each day by naming 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be profound. Even "the bed was warm" or "my knees didn't hurt today" counts. This simple habit rewires your brain to focus on what's right instead of what's missing. And here's something few talk about: intimacy. Yes, even in old age. Just because you're alone doesn't mean your need for affection disappears. Holding a hand, a warm hug, a soft conversation by candlelight, you are still worthy of love and closeness. If romance isn't part of your life anymore, that's okay. But don't deny yourself human connection. Find people you trust. Let them in. Let them remind you what it feels like to be seen and valued. You don't stop needing love just because you've passed a certain age. And now the hardest truth: sometimes people won't come back. Old friends may fade. Family may stay distant. But that's not the end of your story. It's just a new chapter, and it's still yours to write. You are not just what others give to you. You are what you give to yourself. Be your own best company. Be your own biggest cheerleader. Look in the mirror and say, "I'm still here, and I'm still becoming." You're not done yet, not by a long shot. Now let's talk about patience. Patience with yourself, with the world, and with time. You might feel like your days are dragging, like nothing exciting happens anymore. But life doesn't have to be fast to be meaningful. There's beauty in the slow pace. Watching the sky shift colors, hearing birds in the morning, tasting your tea without rushing. When you stop demanding that every day be thrilling, you make room for peace. Peace is quiet. Peace is steady. Peace is worth waiting for. And when loneliness hits hardest, remind yourself, this feeling is just a visitor. It won't stay forever. It may come back, yes, but it always passes. Just like waves in the ocean, emotions rise and fall. Let them come. Let them go. You are not broken because you feel lonely. You are human. What matters is how you respond. Will you reach out? Will you comfort yourself with kindness? Or will you judge yourself harshly? Choose compassion. It always heals more than criticism ever could. Let's talk about legacy. Most people think legacy means money or buildings or fame. But the real legacy, it's how you made people feel. It's the wisdom you passed down, the laughter you shared, the love you gave without conditions. That's what people remember. That's what lasts. So if you ever feel like you don't matter anymore, remember this. Every kind word, every shared story, every warm smile, that's part of the mark you leave on the world. And it's enough. It's more than enough. Another powerful tool? Writing. You don't have to be a great writer. You just have to start. Write down your memories, your lessons, your regrets, your triumphs. You're a walking history book, full of stories no one else can tell. Whether someone reads them or not isn't the point. The point is that you honor your life by putting it on paper. It helps you make sense of it all. And someday, someone might find your words and feel less alone because of them. Also, don't underestimate the healing power of music. Play the songs from your youth. Let them take you back. Let them stir your spirit. Music has a way of unlocking emotion, memory, even energy you forgot you had. Dance, even if it's just a little sway in your chair. Sing, even if your voice cracks. Feel the rhythm remind you that you're still here, still alive, still capable of joy. Let's be real. Aging can feel like loss of energy, friends, roles, identity, but it can also be a return to yourself, to the version of you that isn't defined by work or roles or approval. In this stage, you get to ask, who am I without all the noise? What do I truly want now? It's your second chance to be authentic, to stop pretending, to embrace exactly who you are. What a gift that is. And when grief hits, and it will, let it move through you. Don't lock it away. Don't apologize for tears. You've loved deeply. You've lived fully. Of course it hurts when someone is gone, but grieving is proof that you cared. And the depth of that love doesn't disappear. It changes form. It becomes part of you. You carry them forward in your stories, in your habits, in your heart. They're still with you, just in a different way. One more thing, look for the people who really see you, not the ones who pity you, not the ones who talk over you, but the ones who listen, who respect your story, who treat you like a whole person, not just an elder. Those people are rare. And when you find one, hold on, nurture that bond. Because feeling seen, truly seen, is one of life's greatest comforts at any age. So what do you do when there's no one left by your side? You become the companion you've been searching for. You light your own candle. You fill your own room with warmth. You turn your solitude into sanctuary. You stop waiting for the world to remember you and begin remembering yourself. You are not invisible. You are not a burden. You are a soul still blooming. And even if the world is quiet around you, your presence still matters, deeply. And if faith is a part of your life, lean into it. Whatever your belief, know that you are held by something greater than yourself. Pray, meditate, reflect. Let that higher connection give you strength on the hard days and peace on the quiet ones. Even when others are gone, you are never truly alone. There is always love around you if you open your heart to see it. Finally, remember this. Your story isn't over, not until your last breath. Every day you wake up is a new page. You can still laugh, still create, still touch lives. It's not too late. It's never too late. Not for joy, not for peace, not for healing. The world still needs what only you can offer. And you, my friend, still have chapters to write. So if you're listening to this right now, alone in your room or sitting by a window, know this. Your presence is a gift. Your life is valuable. And your journey, no matter how quiet, still echoes with meaning. Don't give up. Don't fade away. Stand tall. Breathe deep. And live on, boldly, tenderly, truly, until your very last day. This is not the end. This is your new beginning. It starts now. If this message spoke to you, even just a little, don't keep it to yourself. Someone else out there might need to hear these words too. So share this video with a friend, a neighbor, or anyone you care about. And if you'd like more honest, heartfelt conversations like this one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Your journey isn't over, and neither is ours. Let's keep walking it together. Until next time, take care of yourself. You matter more than you know.